All right. Let's get this get this show on the road. Where are we at here? I think it's this button, right? This one normally does it. It's the thing. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is January 10th, 2025. And we're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? Give me 1 second here. For some reason, there's a thing. There it goes. Here we go. And I really don't like this design strategy that folks have evolved into with Windows applications that don't have a title bar. Where the heck am I supposed to grab that application and move it? Like, how does that work? I don't get it. Let me head over to the chat room. Let me say hello. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. It's great to see you out there, friends. Hello. Let me go down the list here. Null Sheffa with a big wave to get us started. High Tech Redneck, how you doing there? Digital Dummy, good afternoon to you. Certainly, Dev, good afternoon. I don't think Mom's here yet. Mom usually wanders in a little bit. Reg with a big wave, hello. Codebase Alpha, good afternoon to you. Billy Cool with a wave. 10 inches of snow in Oklahoma. My goodness, that's a lot of snow. We didn't get snow like that here. Not at all. We did not get snow like that. My goodness. And you hate that too? Yeah, I bet you hate that 10 inches of snow. That is a lot of snow. Oh. Entity Adam with a big wave. Hello, welcome in. Good to see you. Last night was a rough night for my my Penn State Nittany Lion football team. They lost by 3. Game-winning field goal right at the end of the game. That's the way these things go. Some of the fellas had a real bad game yesterday. Real bad game. Made some bad decisions, did not execute well. That happens. Hopefully they watch the tape, they learn from it, they train a little bit harder here in the off season, and they make some improvements. That's all we can hope for in the off season. So great season by our team, and we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. You'll trade some of your 30 Celsius for some snow. 30 Celsius is, let me make sure, that's really warm. That is really warm. Yeah, 86 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that is a little sweaty, sweltering there. Where are you? What part of the world you in, Billy Cool? 30 Celsius. My goodness. That is quite warm in the northern hemisphere here. We're getting our fair share of cold and snow. Melbourne. There you go. That's where it is. Yes. Good for you. Absolutely. This time of year is perfect for that, but and 30 Celsius isn't even that hot. It's warm, but it's not that hot. Like, when we get into the 100 Fahrenheit around here, that's when we're like, oh boy. Because in this part of the world, we get, it's not insufferable. You're right. It's not insufferable yet. But when we get into the 100 Fahrenheit, let me make sure I get that Celsius. Let me make sure I get that converted back correctly, because there are folks in Europe that they just don't understand. 100 Fahrenheit is 37 Celsius. 37.8. It is a little bit warmer. So you're getting another snowstorm today in Indiana. Oh boy, that's gonna delay some of those Notre Dame Fighting Irish folks from getting back into town. Go ahead, take a look at the hat. There it is with the new hat bot. It'll take just a few seconds to load there, and there it is. My NASA blue cap. There you go. A hat that's truly out of this world. Perfect for aspiring astronauts and space enthusiasts alike. There you go. Now, I've been kicking around some ideas for what to do with the chatbot regarding some of the new AI interactions, like this one that we've done. I've got some updates that I'm getting ready to roll out for the Q&A. I think there's like I literally want to update the Q&A part so it's a proper RAG bot that's going to be out there doing some really um, interesting and simple interactions that we can all learn from. I've got a little bit of phlegm or something back in the throat. I'm all gravelly here. We should take a stab at implementing Mars time for the .NET runtime. No, come on now. No, we've got other more interesting things to do. How you doing there, Jet Set Willie in the UK? Long-time watcher, first-time chatter. Always welcome to have anybody. Excuse me. Ooh, I'm drinking my coffee too fast. Anybody chat, hang out. It's an AMA. Ask me anything. Nobody's going to knock you for saying anything in chat. The only thing we ask is that we be respectful of each other, and I'm not going to answer personal types of questions. And of course, there are some Microsoft questions that I can't answer. So that's kind of the boundaries of what we talk about. But great to have you, Jet Set Willie. I hope you're having a fantastic afternoon in the UK. So Wrexham doesn't play this weekend, but they play. It's like Thursday night next week because of some of the knockout tournaments that are also going on at the same time. Their match was canceled or something. I forget exactly how it works, but they play again Thursday the 16th. They have this weekend off, which is weird because then they've got like 3 matches in 10 days, and right. I've explained this before, right? In Philadelphia, we followed Wrexham because of Rob McElhenney, not because of the series and the Hollywood investment. It's look, favorite son is doing well and bought a team. Let's support him. So really looking forward to seeing. And the transfer window is only open for a couple more weeks. I'm surprised Wrexham hasn't done anything yet here. Let's go. The winter transfer window is open, right? So, hey there, C# Titan. Good to see you. So, I want to talk to you about the Sharp Translator app before we get into the other code that we're doing here. You remember the Sharp Translator app. This was the application that we built so that we could do translations of the resources inside SharpSite. Some of those pieces of code that are always going to be used to format and present, particularly the admin site. We're going to work through where we've built and we've got that working nicely. But I realized yesterday in talking to some of my colleagues, this is going to be a real good example that I can share and we can publish on the .NET blog and do a little bit more with it. So I want to show you some ideas that I have for that I want to write a blog post and publish it for work. So if there's any reporters out there, you're going to see something that I'm going to publish, and it's open source. It's something that's out there. I don't mind if you out there know it before it goes live on the Microsoft blog, because this isn't a product, but this is more teaching how to use some of the products and some of the cool features that are out there. Let me catch up here. Code Stencil says, I've been away from Twitch. Logging back in, seems like all the developers channels that used Twitch have all fizzled out. So this is something that's typical for folks on Twitch, not just developer channels. And you also see this with blogs and podcasts. Folks will start a blog, a podcast, a Twitch channel, and start broadcasting, and they fizzle out after a couple weeks because they just don't have the commitment, or they get distracted, something else happens, or they just don't see the uptake, right? They don't see the viewers come through. And broadcasting for a month with only 5 to 10 people watching is really disheartening. And that's something that I see a lot of. And this was something that I was attempting to improve and help with the Live Coder stream team to be able to gather those folks around be encouraging, because everybody needs a group of folks that do something similar that they can learn from. Let me adjust the keyboard camera here a little bit. There we go. And learn from and grow and get some help and have that built-in raid loop, that system, folks that are, you can rely on, you can depend on, and say, you know what? Yeah, I am going to raid Codebase Alpha. I am going to raid Irish John Games, because I know that they have similar values as me. They produce similar content as me that my viewers are going to be interested in. Because that also means, coming around the other side, those folks will sometimes raid me because they know I've got the same values and stuff. So you're right, Code Stencil. Did anything happen that made the developers bail? No. But pirate software has absolutely exploded in popularity. Exploded in popularity. His YouTube Shorts and now TikToks have really taken off. He's gotten a lot of attention from that. Fairy Wings is here. Hello.
Fairy Wings just resubscribed for 75 months. D.
No, that was a smiley face, not a D. 75 months. Thank you so much, my friend. So good to see you. And we're going to get into some of the coding here in a minute. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the support. Digital Dummy with a question here. Do I know if Visual Studio team will integrate more AI features into the IDE? I can't talk about their long-term plans. There are long-term plans. But I can say, of course, that and I know there's a reporter or two that are watching. I can say that you've seen the GitHub Copilot extension. It's no longer an extension. It's integrated as part of Visual Studio. And that kind of created a little bit of a snafu when GitHub Copilot Free came out in December, because they converted GitHub Copilot to an extension, from an extension to an integrated part of Visual Studio. They weren't able to version Visual Studio to take on the new GitHub Copilot features because it was no longer an extension. Visual Studio has very rigid release cycles because it's a very large piece of software. A lot of teams that have to be coordinated to release that. So when they converted that, they couldn't just release a new version of the extension because it's not an extension anymore. So so we've got to wait for the next version of Visual Studio to have an improved GitHub Copilot experience. So these things are growing and happening with adding, tuning, and improving Visual Studio. And they are bringing things from extensions back into the main Visual Studio code base. Are they adding additional AI features? I can say that Microsoft is adding AI features to all of the products. And Visual Studio is one of those products. And that's about all I can say. When I can say more, I will absolutely discuss and share that with you here on this channel. But there are long-term plans that are happening for Visual Studio. Hey, Cesar is here on YouTube. How you doing there? You love the Azure AI Foundry and Copilot Studio for Office 365. Oh, I need to take this. Give me 1 second here. This is important. All right, all right. I was getting my passport renewed, and I wanted to make sure there weren't any problems there, and we're okay. We're just fine. So let me catch up with this comment from Cesar. Azure AI Foundry enables advanced machine learning model development, while Copilot Studio enhances productivity. Yes, where are we going with this? Yeah, Pirate Software currently has 15,000 viewers. It is those are not developers. I hope you hope I can include some examples. Yeah, I'm actually going to show a little bit of that in just a minute here. Am I able to integrate Sharp Translator into the CMS to translate text? What I'm going to show you, we might be able to do some of that. Let me get some music playing in the background here, because there are free AI models out there that we can use. This is called One for the Morning. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. This is from the Stream Beats EDM playlist. You can learn more all about it and the great creators that Harris Heller has recruited at streambeats.com. Big thanks to him and his team for this music we're listening to today. So I took Sharp Translator and it was connected to one of my Azure AI instances. And I can't exactly publish that and say, hey, go use Azure OpenAI and go allocate and build your own instance of blah, 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 blah. That's that's kind of right, publishing some code and, oh, by the way, you have to buy my product in order to use this code. But what if I could publish that code and make it available for you to use with a free model that's online? We're going to see that in a minute. Manoj says, people are stopping writing blogs given everyone uses ChatGPT. No, that's not why people are stopping blogs. People don't stop writing blogs because they get motivated to write a couple things and then they stop. They lose motivation. That happens with all these things. So you used to watch Pirate when he had 300 to 400 viewers. Yeah, 15,000 is crazy. You're literally not talking to chat at that point. Chat is on slow mode, and he's only talking to people who make a donation. And while that's amazing, while that has changed his life, there's a size. I would love to get over 200 regular viewers concurrently in this channel. I would love to. It's something that takes away from a little bit of the community feel, and me being able to talk to every one of you. I would strive to do that as much as possible with ramping up a Discord and getting more folks involved that way, and being able to address things. But I'm very happy for him, extremely happy for him. I would love to get there as well. I'm gonna show you. I got the plugin. I needed to make a modification to the plugin, Dr. Cox, but I think I've got it working. I think I've got it fully working. Billy says Visual Studio 2077 confirmed. It's actually a Marvel comic book. You remember when they had Spider-Man 2070? Was it 2077 or 2099? It's a Marvel comic book. Visual Studio 2077. Actually, that's the cyberpunk reference you put there. So, but Apricot, greetings to you in Ukraine. Daz Knowles with a question. How's things? Going well. Can't complain. How are you? I'm getting ready for my trip to Stockholm. First week of February. I'll be there in Stockholm on the 4th and 5th of February for the Svitog conference. If you're in Sweden, if you're in the area and you can get a couple days to visit, I would love to meet you. I've met a couple of you at some of these events. I've met Thindal at that event. So it's a great event. It's a reasonable price. It's in Stockholm. I'm not the only Microsoft person that's going to be there. Mads Torgerson's going to be there, the lead developer, lead program manager, lead language designer for the C# programming language is going to be there as well. It's going to be a great event. Richard Campbell's going to join us. If you can get there and you can get some training dollars, go. It's going to be a good time. Hey, Svekos, good afternoon. Code Stencil asks, does anyone know of any other programming C#.NET centric channels? Check out Code Rushed is another good one. Actually, what you can do is Code Rushed is another good one that I recommend. Layla Codes It isn't writing code as much anymore. It hasn't been broadcasting in a while. The Code It Live, the folks from Progress Software, they're on weekly broadcasting. So there's a lot of folks that are out there. You have to do some digging to get it. The issue with using AI for searches, says Codebase Alpha, is that now many of the results it comes back with are AI written articles. This is true. It's right here. This is very true. I've seen, so the content that I've been gathering and putting together for Aspirify.net, there have been a number of articles that are published to Medium that folks are charging a subscription for that are all AI generated. You can tell in the first paragraph or two that it's AI generated, and it's awful and it's inaccurate. When I read those articles, I won't publish articles from Medium on Aspirify because of that. There are so many that are absolute trash. It's just AI generated and inaccurate. Yeah. It's inaccurate because there's no content that promotes and talks about it yet. So the AI doesn't know how to teach about .NET Aspire. Do you believe the music is not coming through? It's quiet. How's that? Yeah, it's very low. I just turned it up a little bit. And that's it's the wrong music comment. You're happy for Pirate Software and what he's doing for the Ferret Rescue? The fact that the Ferret Rescue made Twitch partner. The Ferret Rescue channel made Twitch partner is ridiculous. Ridiculous. There are people who have been struggling and working hard to build and deliver content on Twitch that can't even come close to sniffing partner numbers. And the fact that his Ferret Rescue made partner is ridiculous. It just is. Hey, my secure gift, good morning. Eddie Dre, good morning to you. Smirking Squiggly, hello to you. You're involved with the look for awesome developer streams. Really? There's an awesome developer streams? Share the link. Hey, kiss my pixels. Yeah, Medium's had its issues with folks generating. They're generating AI content. They're trying to get rich quick. They're generating AI content, publishing it to Medium under a subscribed. Do they call it a channel? A subscribable blog. It's awful. It's awful. MTCB. I'm blanking on that. You can hear it now. Oh, good. They are. Thank you, Junie. They're generating AI. They're going to flood and shitify the web. Yes. Yes. More dev streams should dress up as furries. I've done that once in a while here. When are we writing our own AI music bot? No. Am I excited for .NET 10 and C# 14? Yes. Oh, music to code by. Yes. Am I excited for .NET 10 and C# 14? Yes. They're still working on the plans for that. There's a number of high-level items that they know they want to do. They tentpole items that they're focused on. They've got a North Star of wanting to be able to make things always faster, more secure, make you more productive, and building and adding those features, or right, that's the North Star. That's their guiding light that they're going to target. They've got tentpole items underneath of that they're putting together and growing and moving towards. So we'll see more precise planning coming out here over the next month or two. Usually they announce exactly what their plans are, what their features are that they're going to target by February. Medium barely cuts the mark with articles about consecrated issues, aspects of program. Going for anything niche like multi-tenancy with Spring and stuff like that fails. Yes, totally agree. A SharpSite subscription plugin. Not a terrible idea. Certainly Dev with the awesome developer streams link there. Wow. Holy crow. I didn't know this thing existed. And it's been managed out here for years and years. Six-figure developer. I don't think they've been streaming in a while either. Now, am I under C or am I under J? Well, I'm not under C. I'm not under F for my last name. Hey, there I am. I'm under J. And, wow. Yeah, you've got some folks on here that have stopped streaming a long time ago. Oh my gosh. You've even got Chris Nova still on here. You should pull that one. Yeah, you should pull that one. Yeah. There's... It would be good to go through and call this a little bit. Brian Lagunas, my gosh, he hasn't streamed in years. So there is definitely updates to be done on this. Yeah. It is, he doesn't have any videos listed anymore on there. Yeah. Code Rushed is great. AI music is pretty good now. There is a line of AI features that I don't want to cross in my utilization. And AI creating images, music, and video are things that I'm not interested in doing. And even using AI to get the suggestions for the icon that we had yesterday, taking that and taking that idea, tweaking, tuning it, and making it our own is about the edge of where I'll do AI image generation, text summarization, text generation. I'll text summarization. I'll do text generation. Is borderline for me as well. Generating content with AI is something that it crosses a line that I don't want to cross. You hope Visual Studio will be better than Writer. Writer is good, but I love Visual Studio. This is why competition is good, right? I mean, Writer sat back and after 20 years of Visual Studio being available and building one of the most popular add-ons for Visual Studio, they said, okay, let's put this into our own editor and release that and build on what we learned from Visual Studio. Sure. But they're also a distant second in the market. So, it has my Mixer link to, oh my goodness. Yeah. You need to call Twitch and tidy it up. So I would, go ahead. Take the picture. I would set up some sort of a script that queries Twitch and looks for, does the channel exist? Does the, not just does the channel exist, but when was the last video? And if the last video was more than a year ago, you miss Mixer? I appreciate what Mixer was trying to do. the leadership of Mixer didn't understand what they were building. Like when they were Beam, they knew what they were building. They knew they were building a video-oriented social media platform. They knew that. When it became Mixer, a lot of those folks with that vision left. And the folks that were put in place didn't know what they were building. So, you saw news that there's no human-made material left for AI left? No. I don't know. And I can tell you that because my team and I are generating AI training AI material to teach humans about AI. There you go. Hey, Fresh Diskin. Hello. Good to see someone is still supporting Mixer. No. Live streaming is expensive. Jeremy's here.
Jeremy Knight _me just resubscribed for 59 months. Have a great 2025.
Thank you so much. Live streaming is expensive. There was a time at one point, years ago when the live coders were very, very active. There was a group of folks that tried to guilt, and I took the bait, that were trying to guilt me into the live coders being an exclusive organization, and it wasn't very inclusive. Yeah, that's right. It's hard to be a streamer. It's hard to be inclusive and to provide a community for streamers to gather and learn and grow is something that's valuable. Hey, thank you for the sub.
OJ Peter.
Appreciate that. Is it OJ Peter? Let me know. Thank you so much. Hype Train is live. 4.5 minutes to try and get to level 2 on the Hype Train. And these folks pushed back and said, well, you should encourage students and folks who don't have resources to become live streamers, live coders. And we tried to set up an education and growth program, and it just never went anywhere. Like, what do you want me to do? Give away cameras and microphones and teach people how to do this? Like, there's all kinds of educational material that the team put together to say, here's how to get started. Here's how to do what we're doing. But a team is not going to give away and build studio time for people. That's just not a thing. And folks tried to make us feel guilty that we had a place for live streamers to talk and grow. Like, no, go away. So, how you doing there, Gizmo? Yeah. You rather like Blender than Mixer? Yeah. Blender 3D is still around. Mixer is not. Will I be working on the CMS today? Sure will. You've always wondered, did Microsoft not use the Beam Mixer faster than light tech in things like Xbox? It's being used in Teams, is what I've been told. So, yeah, that's what I've been told, is that some of that tech is rolled over to Teams and some of the other video tech that Microsoft has. So, let me show you this idea, this concept with Sharp Translator. Let me talk about this real quick, because this is something that I'm going to pivot and turn into a little bit of Microsoft content. We wrote this app that uses an AI prompt here to read your resources, your string resources inside your application to generate translations, right? And very clearly, there's a line here that says, from this language to that language, do the translation. And there's a command here, translate async, that receives a language that we're translating from, a language that we're translating to, a description of what it is that you're translating, and the text to translate. And we're going to set a maximum output number of tokens to spend to do that translation. And then there's just this real quick block of code here that says, chat client, complete this asynchronously. Go. Here's the deal. Here's where this is going to become more accessible for you. I use Microsoft Extensions AI to build this, and I changed the syntax of this block right here to use OpenAI's interactions. So we're going to set up a chat client using the OpenAI configuration and still return it as the Microsoft Extensions AI interface for a chat client. This abstraction gives us a way to generically interact with chat and pass in some standard commands that get translated appropriately into the APIs for the different services out there. So OpenAI, real easy to use, but you'll notice I changed my endpoint to this Models Inference AI Azure Com. Because here's the deal. There are GitHub models that you can use out there for free. For free to do translation and other AI interactions. I want you to check this out. Right, I'm going to go right to the root of the GitHub models here, okay? With your GitHub account, you get GitHub Copilot for free, okay? Choose a model, right? I'm using the GPT-4o. Go back forward, right? So select a model. Let's try the 4o mini, okay? You get into a playground here, and you can do all kinds of things in here. Tell me about NASA and the space race. And it will respond. This is free for you to use. You can get API keys then and work with it. There's a rate limit, of course, to this. So as you're developing, as you're testing, right, you can make for this 4o mini, because it's on the low, you can make 15 requests a minute, up to 150 requests a day. Per request, up to 8,000 tokens you can send in, and it'll send out 4,000. That is way lower than the translation thresholds that we need to interact with this, okay? And you can make 5 concurrent requests. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Anyways, on the higher end, right, you can make 10 requests a minute, 50 requests a day, because this is a higher end model. So we can use the ChatGPT 4o mini and do most of our translations. It's free for you to use. Click through, get an API key. I'm not going to click it because it's going to take me through to places where you're going to be able to see some of my profile. But you can click through and use this. Nothing to it. Okay? Check it out. By doing it this way, anybody who's a GitHub user can use the Sharp Translator. Which means the next steps that I want to do are either provide an API key from GitHub for this bit right here, or go prompt you to sign in, generate the key, come back, and wire it up there. Really cool stuff. I'm going to do a little bit more vetting on this and make sure that I make this code sample really easy for anybody to use. But this makes the translations that you do inside Visual Studio piece of cake. All right. Hey, Mick Nets. Hello. How's it going there? Jeremy Knight. Free, Eddie. Yeah. So this was, I think it was announced as part of Microsoft Ignite. So if you're paying for it, let me go back. If you are paying for, if you have Copilot Business, you can send through more requests per day. You still got the same number of tokens that you can work with, right? So on the higher end, you can send through 100 requests for the bigger model. If you're doing embedding calculations, you can do a lot more embedding calculations. But this is primarily for folks who are developers to try it out, to learn more about it. So here, the O1 Mini, right? Not that many requests you can send through a day, but it's actually listed up here, right, on this one. So you can still, I can send through, because I have Copilot Business. I think I'm actually on Enterprise. I can send through 450, but for anybody on the free plan, 150 requests a day to do translation, that's great. That is great. So, and if you want to do more than that, like, it's going to cost you more to upgrade to Copilot Business than it is to deploy a model and actually use the OpenAI features on Azure. Like, OpenAI on Azure is going to cost you less than $5 a month to do this translation. It's going to cost you less than $1 a month to do that. Is the hat code in one of my GitHub repos? Yes, it is, of course, in the Stream Tools repo. So you can see that. I'll go up here. If you go into the chat bot, and if we go into commands, this is predict hat command. You see it was updated last week. And we now are using Azure OpenAI. It's grabbing values from there for the endpoint, the key, and the model, so I can change that interaction. I can upgrade the model without having to rebuild and redeploy here. But you see here, it goes and gets a screenshot from OBS, and then it calls predict hat. And if there's an error, send a message appropriately, and there's where it formats the messages it's sending out. The actual prediction is right here, and you can see the prompt that I built. This is all available for you. It is free. It is open source. Go take a look. You are welcome to this code to build and do with as you please. Why not create Visual Studio extension for ResX file translations? Ice cream stick model. Now you're onto something. Now you're onto something. There you go. That's this code right here is running right now and is going to tell you about my NASA hat. Wonder if you can use this at work with the enterprise sub? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you can. It's free for you to use with the enterprise subscription, right? But there are limits that you'll hit with that. If you're going to do more, deploy a model, and like I said, it's not going to cost you. It's not going to cost you very much to do 500 requests a day. You're going to be in just fine shape. You wonder why individual paid Copilot doesn't get a bump over free? That's a great question, and I can't answer that. You have a Copilot subscription? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. It's telling you about the NASA hat. So, and what I really should do, I should take this and connect it to a Redis cache so that it pulls from the Redis cache if the numbers come back and it's the same. So that's a bit of the tuning that I want to do for this. And I've started. I got into a great conversation yesterday with our friend Face, and she describes herself as where did it go here? She describes herself as my favorite menace. But I think I'm going to update the look and feel of the stream here, and I'm going to take away some of the image, the image tools that are and visuals that are here. That okay, it's great. Hey, look at C# Fritz, and right, I'm on Twitch and YouTube and the old Twitter logo, and you can find me on GitHub, and that's great. I think I'm going to lose some of those, and make make the interactions with the chatbot a little bit more prominent on screen with my stream layout. Wrap stream tools in .NET Aspire, Codebase Alpha. I was thinking the exact same thing. Yes. So, have I pushed the latest CMS code to GitHub? It's in the 0.5. So, here, I'm talking about the GitHub models to wrap up about Sharp Translator. This is the Sharp Translator repository. I'm pivoting. I'm going to get this built, updated. There might be a way to if you don't have a key, go log in, request a key to be issued, save it into environment variables, and proceed. And at that point, turn this into a Visual Studio extension, turn this into a GitHub action. There's a lot of different things that we can do with this. I mean, yeah, build and run as a GitHub action, wrap into a Visual Studio extension. Sure. Right? Ideas, what we can do with this. So, and that uses, oh, shoot. Go back. Let's go back to the models. And I'm going to provide a link to the GitHub models. Right? There it is. So if you didn't catch the link earlier, it's there in the Sharp Translator repository. If you're interested in how I'm doing translations, there's that code that you can take a look at. We're working on this, supporting embedded images in posts. To my secure gifts question, we're working right now on the 0.5 milestone. So if you do pull the latest capabilities, the latest code from the shared repository, everything is sitting in the 0.5 branch, staging so that when that milestone, when we've got those last couple items complete, we'll bundle it up as one super pull request and merge it in. So it's there, but it's not done yet. And I'm working right here. Allow images to be attached to posts and pages. And the default plugin icon is out here. We need to add validation fields. Was there any progress on this? So we had this idea for a default plugin icon, and Ocular Malice is working on making that into an SVG version. So we made some great progress on this yesterday, and we found out that the image uploads for our rich text editor that's in the Sharp Site CMS is attempting to do an HTTP client upload. By default, it wants to do an upload. But this runs on an interactive server configuration. So when you tell it, hey, here's the image I want to embed here, it's actually already running on the server. So it doesn't need to do a post to an API endpoint. The image is already on the server. So I took some steps to start integrating and making that run better natively right there inside the Blazor code that we had. And I'll show you that in just a second. So let's, let me dive in here. So I'm going to change projects, and I'll jump over here to SharpSite, and we'll get back into this. This is SharpSite. This is a free open source CMS that we are building live on stream. It is, anybody can download the code. You can grab it. You can ask questions about it. You can open issues about it. You can tinker with it, extend it on your own. It is free and open source, and it is growing quickly. We've been working on it for what, 2 months here on stream? 3 months? And we've got this plugin architecture that's built that is helping us to do some very interesting things on stream. So we developed, here we go. We developed this interface that's going to generically define how SharpSite handles files. It's called iHandle File Storage. And when I jump through to that interface, there's a couple of methods here that are, they just make sense. Go get a file based on a file name, get a list of files and with some paging options here, and we're going to return just the file metadata. Upload a file and remove a file. Pretty basic. I handle them? I handle what? No, I don't handle them. This handles them. I updated this interface so that when you add a file, it returns a string that is the, I'll show you, the name of the file that was added, so that it knows how to, yes, I handle file storage. That's right. I handle file storage. This class, it handles file storage. So, right, I have a file system storage class here that concretely defines how to interact with the file system, and the file system storage, well, I handle file storage. Right now, this is a naive implementation. There are things that we should do to do malware scanning to ensure that it isn't some sort of bogus payload or a badly formatted name that's trying to do things that it shouldn't. Those concerns we'll get to. We'll make this a little bit more robust, a little bit more secure as we finish wiring up all of the file storage mechanisms. Hey, Chris Funk, good to see you. Mars is here. Good morning, Mars. Ice skating has gotten popular. Ice skating is always popular. Links to files instead of the files, that's different. Malware scanning, yes. M. Wakala. So we built a plugin using the ClamAV antivirus scanner. ClamAV is an open source antivirus scanner that's maintained by the folks at Cisco that will run in a container. Well, if it can run in a container, then I can connect that up and route requests into the antivirus scanner, and it'll take care of that and report back to me. Really cool stuff. For Ice Planet Dallas, yes, it is cold there. Ooh, it is very cold there, and I understand there's a potential for snow coming today. Some of our friends are in Dallas. Some of our longtime friends are in Dallas, in the Texas area, and they were talking about calling in Texan today. No ice there, just south of Dallas. Yeah, I heard north is very, very cold. You wanted a 3-day weekend? So I updated the file system storage so that when you add a file, here it is, right? Not only are we making sure that we have content there, we make sure that there actually is a file that's being uploaded, make sure the file name is valid, and then right now it just copies and returns the file name. Like I said, simple, naive. There's more to do here, like generate a faux file name on disk, right? Maybe it's based on a GUID, and when we get a request for that GUID, translate it into the actual file name and go look that up. Stuff like that can help protect a little bit of that. You made something similar with the VirusTotal API. Oh, very cool. I'd love to hear more about it. What we built is available on my GitHub. And I still have to submit it to, yeah, this isn't building right. Right, if I go over here to repositories, What? Yeah, there it is. Aspire antivirus. There we go. And this uses ClamAV antivirus detection to a .NET Aspire application. And I even wrote a blog post about it. I know I wrote a blog post. But you can learn more about my implementation right there. Ads are kicking in and they're running right now. Okay. It's just a function in the Discord back. Oh, cool. Oh, very cool. Yeah, if folks upload images that have bogus bad content. So going through and finishing this, I needed to get the file name back, and I need to rebuild the plugin now. So that inside the text editor, here's where I was working. So when the page is initialized, go get the file storage plugin. When we're handling the file upload, and maybe I do this down here. Maybe. Then I don't need it as a property. So it gets uploaded as a base64 stream. I convert it back to a stream. I add the file. I don't know the content type. It's not clear what the content type is. Save the file, and then I need the file name coming back. And then we can present, here's the file. I don't think I have this entirely right because the file name coming back is just that string for the file. Hey, Robson, good morning. So I think there's more work to do here, but because I changed the API for the interface here, I'm going to need to rebuild and reinstall the plugin, which is something that we need to make easier for folks to do in the future that are building plugins to join the SharpSide ecosystem. Does ClamAV run in a Docker container? Oh yeah. Yeah, let me, right? This sample, the ClamAV antivirus scanner, it runs in a Docker container. Don't I mention it down somewhere? I don't. Do I mention it in my blog post? Yeah, there it is. Jaron shows us how ClamAV scanner can be run in a Docker container. So, boom, there you go. Do I mention it here? Yeah, Jaron runs the ClamAV scanner in a Docker container. Why not have .NET Aspire manage that for us? So, am I thinking about an onboarding experience like a guided first-time setup? Yes, Billy. And I think I have a, I think I call it the out-of-the-box experience. Setup wizard, right? And this actually, TeamCity has a great setup wizard. Yeah, 121. So it's these are duplicates of each other. What happens the first time you launch, configure, and get things loaded up? So, totally agree with you, and it will help make some of these things a lot more visible that we're trying to do. All right, so where was I? So I rebuilt that. I need to repackage. Over here. I'm going to grab what? I'm going to grab, where is it? File system storage, bin, debug, file system storage, DLL, back up here into artifacts. Here's where I'm building that plugin. It's in the lib folder. Paste and replace that, John. Oh, it's got a different name. That's fine. There we go. And back up here, I'm going to edit this. Right, 01, yeah, 013. Today is the 10th. Yeah, that's fine. All right. And we'll just compress this up. Compress to zip file. Sure, you can call it that for now, but I'm going to rename it. Right. Copy that. Thank you. Rename this. All of that. Replace. And I'm going to call this 013. Yes, I know it's going to make it something different. Thank you. Let me go over to my plugins folder, and I'm going to manually uninstall because we don't have the ability... not that one. We don't have the ability to uninstall plugins yet. That's a feature coming up in the next version, I think. So I have to update my application state so that it doesn't have that plugin. There it is. Right there. So remove that. File system plugin, that goes away. Thank you. Its folder that it created, that goes away. In the uploaded, delete that as well. Thank you. So let's try this and see what happens. Got 25 centimeters of snow. Tomorrow should be another. You're going to get another 30 centimeters of snow. Oh, man. That's a lot. That's a lot. Right, 25 centimeters of snow is about 10 inches. So 30 centimeters is about a foot for those of us on American units. American units. What is this snow? Yes, that's right. That's right. So I'll jump back in over here. I'm going to have to restart. Right, here's where... Right, see the plugin isn't there. And it's not there. I'll add the new plugin, choose that file. And there's the new one. There it is. Accept. It's there now. File system storage. It's going to attempt to write into an uploaded files folder. There's uploaded files. So I'll go back over to page admin. Here's where I was tinkering. And I'm going to put a break in my text editor because we're going to try this now. You know what? I'm going to put a break right there. See if it actually does the upload. Move this over here. And back into this. Right here, I'm going to try and upload that test icon we had. And object reference set not set to an instance of an object. Didn't get it. All right, what do we do wrong? Hey, PowerShell Freak, your Defy arrived today. Oh, PowerShell Freak, let me know what you think. Right? PowerShell Freak's referring to this keyboard. What'd you get? What colors did you get? What switches? Oh, I'd love to hear more. So this is it's a split keyboard. It's wired. It's got wires plugged in here, but it can run wirelessly. Oh, I love it. So many cool things that it can do. It's been a really fun keyboard for me to use. So that sure looks like all that stuff is there. Which object? Right? File storage is null. didn't get the object here. Yeah, I know. Go ahead. You can error out. Thank you. So this speaks towards the plugin manager. I'm going to put the tabs back on the right. When the plugin manager uploaded, it didn't register the interface. Right? So when it called save plugin, it should have called here. I know what this is. It registered, it added the service descriptor, and it never rebuilt the service. The service provider, right? It's being rebuilt when the configuration section changes. Yes, okay. It's being built on load plugins at startup, but I don't have it in that third place. When you add a new plugin and it calls save the new plugin right here. Service provider equals, right? Build service provider. That's the piece it was missing. Black with tactile brown, wireless tinting and underglow. Nice. That's a really cool combination, PowerShell freak, and it's going to feel amazing. Hey, MNTRN TV. Hello. I'm trying to remember how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. How you doing there? Welcome. These are yellows that I got. Okay, so I can get around this problem for now by just restarting the website, and it'll reload. So this is going to restart, right? Ooh, fancy keyboard. I'm going to turn that off so we got a little bit more of a view here. So let me try doing the upload again. Hang on. Oh no, it is still attached. Okay. It says it's attached. Right, back over here. Let's try uploading the icon, and it got there, waiting for activation. Oh, are you kidding? This is a task. I forgot to await the task. Yeah. And this isn't async. Oh, fine. And I can't make it async. That's a rude edit. So run that again, and then we should see the file get saved. You want a new keyboard, but you don't need a new. I know that feeling, Billy. I was feeling that until I broke my keyboard. I spilled scotch on my keyboard. That's such an adult first world thing. I spilled scotch on my keyboard. Like, I spilled scotch. There's a certain level of privilege and nonsense that comes with that I feel guilty about, you know? So, all right, here we go. Uploading the image, and we got a file name coming back. But I don't think that's going to work properly. I don't think it's going to work properly. It's here. There it is in the uploaded files. But I think the file name I'm returning is not, yeah, it's not right. I think I need to return a file name that it can use to embed and show that image on screen. I think that's the mistake I made there. Cannot read properties of null. Well, what do you... yeah. Yeah, I don't... I think it... Are we show the network tab? Did it try to get it from... Image upload endpoint is not specified. Drop HAR files here. What's it? What? It's not showing me. Right, because it's... Oh. Alright, back over here. I removed the image upload endpoint. I didn't put the file name in the file. You fool! So... Alright, hang on. What? So I need to say file dot... No, I don't think it's upload URL. That's the file name. Is that the URL where it's at? Maybe? I'm probably going to need... Now I need the navigation manager. Sure, that's fine. And down here, can I say equals navigation manager dot base URI? So I can do the URI combination here, right? And then the relative URI is API files. Throw a $sign in front of that. File name. And then I'm returning file. Oh, what do you mean you can't do that? Oh, okay, okay, okay. This is fine. Save that. It's going to hot reload that, John. Right? Reload this. I saw the check in the corner, so I think we're good. Upload the file. Okay, so if we go over to preview, is it going to show me the preview? Okay, it tried to get something here, down here. Look at this. Icon JPEG. Didn't find anything. So it went to localhost 7166 API files icon JPEG. Oh, I'll turn back on the keyboard camera. Sure. I turned it off because it got in the way of some of the things here. Yeah, it's the file entry type. You're right, Codebase Alpha. Yep. It's refusing to die. You got a new keyboard for Christmas after a decade with your previous one. Huge upgrade to both features and desk space. Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. Okay, so This looks like it's going to the right location, so let's head back. What was the response? No response. No, there's response headers. Content length 0. Content length 0? Back over here. So this should have mapped. And we should have hit this. Right? Isn't there a, like, edit and resend in this thing? For the request? Like, where is it? Yeah, edit and resend. Not found. Not found? Localhost API files icon JPEG. API files, and then we were doing a get on this. You were just commenting. All right, hey, no problem. Yeah, it's taking up a little bit of space right now when I need more of the screen. You got a new one that's typewriter style, much easier to keep clean. When it's got a lot of space between the keys, yes, you're right. You have a keyboard graveyard happening? You sound like Robert Tables. Our friend Robert Tables has a growing graveyard of keyboards he's been going through. Why didn't this... Like, if I just go to /API/files, like, that's the correct location. Page equals 1. Files on page, okay. Files on page equals 10. So that got it. That worked here. I don't like the name of these query string parameters. I'm probably going to end up renaming it. There he is, Robert Tables. See that? Say his name and he appears. Robert Tables is here. Somebody's going to know that reference. Somebody's going to know that reference. And then they're going to wave their arms from side to side. No, it's not even triggering here. Do I need to do that? Now that's going to reload, but I think I need to actually restart the site. Oh, wait a sec. Stop the press. Unhandled exception. Tell me more. Tell me more. Help me out, Aspire. Oh, this was from the previous one. Right. I'm okay with that. I'm going to restart it because it needs to reconfigure the file API. Any experience with .NET Maui? Oh, yeah. With the island of Maui? No, never been there. But .NET Maui? Sure. Absolutely. There it is! Robert Tables got the reference. Yes. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Robert Tables. There was a time about a month or two ago where I was lost in a Joe Hendry TikTok.
Sinclair in
just
0 hour just resubscribed for 66 months.
Sinclair
Cool
Nader's
face.
here for 66 months. Thank you so much for the resub. How you doing, my friend? Great to see you. We are testing out our file upload mechanism here. Is it going to work? All right. I was missing the slash is what it was. Please tell me it finds it and we get our image. No. Let's take a look here. Collections. What the heck is collections? What? I don't know how to use this. I don't know what these things are. Console? I'm not... No. But it's not showing me the request that it made. Right? There it is trying to get it. And it's trying to get icon JPEG. Step into this, John. Right? So I should have my file system provider. Yes. It's going to attempt to get the file. So it's going to combine uploaded files and icon JPEG. Good. Once again, very naive here. It should not just blindly do that. Does the file exist? Yes, it exists. Going to create a memory stream. Open that file. What happened there? What happened there? That errored. I can... File open is a stream. Like, I could return it right there. I don't need... I don't need the extra memory stream here. Right? Let me get rid of this. And I could just write it right there. I'm not truncating. I just want to, yeah, I just want to open to read. So we should get down. Well, go ahead, hot reload that, John. What happened there? What happened? What happened there? I've gone too far. Right? And it looks all wonky because of this over here, and I don't care. Dropping this in and flip over. Here it is. Going to go... Wait, what? I was somewhere else, wasn't I? It's going to get the file. Wait. Right? Get the file. It's in use by another process. It is keeping the file open. Yeah, I need to dispose of that stream and close it. File access. Yeah, there it is. No, I don't see shared here. So, right, that's one reason why I was doing that then. And then I can return this as the memory stream. And with the using statement here, it'll read and load it and then release it. Right? So that when it gets down to here, why is it trying to present it twice? And I feel like I need a lock around this. private static object file, and I know there's a new lock object for this, and I forget how to do it. So I'm going to do it the old school way. And I'll learn about that other way, and the new way, and do that in a bit. Once again, a little bit naive here. So that we get single-threaded coming through here, and then we return. Yeah, file access read. What? File access read. Better. Let's see what happens. Go ahead, hot reload the thing. See, it something's happening right there. I have a feeling it's a laser thing. You know what I mean? Page admin, edit. All right, let's add the image. Additionally, it's flat overwriting this thing. It's not even. So it should attempt to go get the file. Here it is stepping in to go get the file. Lock it. Attempted to read or write protected memory. This is often that other memory is corrupt. That's got to be an issue with hot reload. Let's do this one more time. Restart the whole thing. How you doing there, Blem? Good evening. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets. Fritz is streaming and making mistakes all over the place. Let's go! We're going to get this working. All your memory are belong to us? Yes. Hey! The file open had a fourth parameter. File share, value specifying the type of access. Sure, let's put that into the mix too. I don't... jump in now and try this. Making mistakes feels exactly like you last weekend while streaming. Ah, Corey, great to see you. But, like, that's part of what makes us a little bit human here. Is that we will make mistakes. All right, here we go. Go load that file. Or not. What do we hit here? No errors reported. That makes me feel... That makes me feel bad. Turn off the preview. Really? There it is, trying to get it right there. Icon JPEG return, and we got a file not found. Why did we get a file not found? If the file info, no. Idiot. I had it backwards. Come on now. Yes! It's working as intended, and it's way too big. And I can't change the size of it. But it works! little bit of a pain in the neck that it is constantly re-requesting it. Now how do we set the size of that? I mean, we got it. We got the thing working, right? I mean, this is good. Whoop whoop indeed. So yes, we told it to be transparent, but it wasn't really. So, okay. Hey, Badger. No, I wasn't being a silly goose. No. It was... Can I resize it? I don't see that. Full screen, side by side. Right, even if I go full screen, like, there are no handles to resize that image. Like, that's an issue. Images. To resize an image, see the section on image size. Don't mind if I do. Markdown syntax doesn't allow you to specify the width and height of images. If you need to resize an image, you can use the image tag and do it directly. I have a feeling we're going to be extending this a little bit. So we'd have to go over here, turn this into image source equals right, delete quote height equals 200. Better. So there's no functionality built into the editor to do it. But we've stumbled into a couple of other things that we're going to need to address. The file upload just flat rewrites other files that have the same name. That comes back to this naive implementation that I've been talking about, right? It just deletes other files, overwrites other files that have the same name. You may want to create a little bit of a folder structure to manage those. Yeah. When we click into our file system storage, you may want to browse those files out there and organize them appropriately. A content editor plugin system. So, when we designed the text editor here, this was intended to be pluginable. Yeah. So in order to make sure that this persists, right? These other events I don't need. But in order to ensure that that works, I can move that method up one and pass in that method, right? Not even like pass in an abstract version of this method that that returns this URI and allows the editor to decide what to do with it. That extensibility, yes, Badger, is exactly what I'm looking for. So what I should be able to do now, just to kind of complete the circuit, let's go back to page admin, edit this. I'm going to put the icon on the page. Remove that. Delete this. And let's create it as an image. Source equals this. And height equals 200. What? What? Okay, no, I didn't want to save it like that. I wanted to save it like that. So if I go here, there it is, it works. We need to clean this up a little bit. We need to improve this look, but it works. It's not a great experience, but it works. I'm going to save those changes. And we'll move things forward a little bit here. Right? So that now allows us to add images to pages and blog posts. Cache control headers to the image file response. Great idea. Here. Right. Results file. There's the E tag. I think we put last modified on here, didn't we? Yeah. Right. Yeah, git commit, it just works. Results dot, no. I don't have the context, so I can write the headers. What's the right way to write the headers here? Right, there's a way with .NET to generate the cache headers. Right. Max age is probably where we want to go. Yeah, we probably want to do something like that. But I think I need the context so I can write the header. I don't think this lets me. Oh, wait a sec. Here. Make this a little bit clearer what all we're returning. What else do we have here? Enable. No, there's no headers on that. There's the E tag value. So I think I need the context. And I should be able to say context, response, headers, add, right? And it's a key value pair. So cache dash control. And the value is, come here, you. Max age, I think it's seconds is max age. And public. Now, why won't you do that? You want me to do append. Fine. Do Azure Functions support minimal APIs? No, Azure Functions have their own syntax. What's the wildcard for in the path? That'll capture any anything after /API/files, a GET request for that is turned into this string, and we can look up at that point. I need to restart in order to get it to reload that. Thank you, Moss. Appreciate the link. But there are updates coming to Azure Functions that look more like minimal APIs. Safia presented and shared some of that during .NET Conf in November. You can go back and see exactly what the updates are that are coming there, but they look more like I can't remember if it was they look more like it, but Azure Functions are different. Yeah, they're different. So if I go back to here, let's take a look at that image that was delivered. Right there. Max age 3600 public. So it should not be requesting it. It should be getting cached. And we shouldn't hit this. Or I could be wrong. Well, I did. Hang on. I do have. I thought I had cat yet. Cache is disabled. There we go. Didn't hit it because it's cached. So we're good with that. Fantastic. More to do, but it works, right? That's the big thing here is it works. So let's get all of those in. Completed, connecting. Right, this is the text editor to file uploads and presenting content with the file API. What if it accepted path, height, width? Could the endpoint resize it? Sure. We would need the image library to do the resizing. Does it work for files other than images? Yes, there's no restriction on the image on the upload type. But adding resizing capabilities is something that we can certainly add as another feature. Go ahead and open an issue about that. That's a fine feature to consider, and we'll get there. Right. Well, I'm making small steps in getting features working. So this, I think, is ready for review. And yep. So it did. This should have been building. Is it building? Are you building? Why doesn't it look like you're building? You should be building. Are you building? 1 minute ago, and it built properly. Okay, good. It did build. I should see the little check for that, John. Right here. Ah, there it is. Okay, good. So let's put that into 05. Allow images to be attached. Good. And I can delete this branch. Right. Git branch. Delete fix. Allow images. Pull the changes. Fantastic. All right. So this I can close. It's merged. What else do we got? Improve the look of the add plugin page. Allow customization of the page not found content. This, I think I was in a holding pattern waiting for the ability to do file upload, and I think we can do that now. Robots text, site settings. Where the heck did I... There's the cache control header. That was a good reference. This is sitting in feature page not found. So let's close this out. Yeah, there it is. Feature page not found. Let's merge. Oh. We've got some code to merge here. Are we thinking about site templates? Yes. Yes. Azure functions are very cheap. Yep. At scale, if you're there's ways that they can get expensive, and there's ways that you can manage that. Oh, I've got some extensions to update. Sure, go ahead, restart. Be my guest. While you're doing that, Mom and Dad are going to go over here and keep an eye on things. But site templates, definitely a site template, a site theme. I think those two concepts go hand in hand. Here we go. I've got some merges to take care of here. And please don't do that to me. I don't want this is no, I want the 05. 05 is the incoming. I want that one. Run at startup, map file API. Where did plugin manager go to? Yeah, it's up there at 63. I need the used. I need both. Yeah, I need both because this is introducing that error page. So there's the plugin manager loading. Map endpoints. Yeah, I wrapped it all in this class. So I think we're good with that. Okay. What's the other one? Shared resource for finish. Sure, accept the incoming change. All right. So push those changes. So I have the merge of the 05 progress. Yep, reload, and we should be able to do. Yeah, go ahead. 2. Oh, come on. This is called Keanu Sleeves? Really? What a fun name. Okay. Did it start? It says it started. There it goes. Come on. Right here. Start up there, fella. And I should be able to see my page also. Still out here. Another page. Oh, where's my image? Oh, I hit the breakpoint. This is good. Ah, there it is. Okay. Site admin. There's the theme. Where did I put the 404 page? Or did I not build a... There's page not found. Did I start down the path of... I don't know what I did here. Page not found razor. Display page calling page not found. Okay. Display post. If it's not there, displaying the page not found content. Okay. The error page that routes appropriately to page not found if it's not found. That's language stuffs. Language. So I didn't give away to allow customization. Right, what's it? So if I go back to the site, and if I try to go to foo, which doesn't exist, the endpoint error contains anti-forgery metadata, but a middleware was not found that supports anti-forgery. Ensure we call use anti-forgery. What? It's right there. Am I calling it twice? No, the Azure function discussion's just fine. That's okay. It said something about must go between use routing and use endpoints. So you're telling me this needs to go here. Restart the site. Ads have kicked in. Do I work for Microsoft? What if I did? There it is. So we hit a different status code. Right? Can we put a breakpoint on that? Yeah. Yeah, contact the site admin. Why don't you do that? Get right on that. What's the status code? 404. Fantastic. Step into that, John. Bang. Well, this isn't doing quite what I think it would. It's still showing the development mode thing. And it didn't show anything in page not found. Where did this all come from? It's in here. Hit that again. Is my if statement wrong? Status code is 404 with quotes. Status code not found. Right? That should have stepped... What? $404. I am not playing here. I am bringing the hammer. Try that again. Okay. So that is the page not found localized text. And we can do more with that. Who's Discording? There's like Discord things happening. So page requested does not exist. That would be... So if I'm over here, if we're at 404... Right, we've been redirected to it. No, I think the toString was actually returning the not found. I don't think it was returning the value. What other headers do we have in here? Right, like... This is clearly routing to the error page. Come here. Come here. With a status code. And executing. There's got to be a way to get that page. You know? Do we have context? Oh no. I think we have context. $404 not found. What else do we have? Error status code. But do we have the original requested URL? Is it in the headers? I don't see it. Does this app have any Azure Signal R? No, not at this point. No. Hey, 404 not found. Yes, by name. We reached out and said, hey, we need some 404 right here. I'm not using the Linux laptop right now. But yes, I do work for Microsoft, and I do use a Linux laptop. Do any of my demos show Azure Signal R? No. I do show Signal R, but not Azure Signal R. Let's back up to, we're using this. See if there's a way to get the original, get original requested URL. Retrieving the path that generated the error. Don't mind if I do. With status code pages middleware. Yeah. Use status code pages with re-execute. I think that's right. That's what I'm using here, isn't it? Yeah. So what do we got? Yeah. If status code is this, then do this thing. Gives me customized. Okay, retrieve the original error path. The status code pages middleware stores a request feature with the original path on the HTTP context. You can access it from the features property. Aha! Don't mind if I do. Pardon me. Yeah. Found it. All right, so let's go over in here. Right, let's put a thing like this and one of these over here, and sure. You're gonna need a using statement, don't mind if I do. Public string original URL requested. And let's put a get and set on that. Right. And we're going to set this to string empty. So HTTP context, yeah, I'm editing here, right? Yeah, I know it might be a null reference. It's not going to be. Oh, fine. If HTTP context is not null, right? And I know that that looks kind of weird. That doesn't look like C# code there. That looks like VB code, right? Like, I know. Original URL requested. Fantastic. What don't you like about this? Yeah, alright, fine. I like that. So now I've got the original URL requested if it's available. So I could pass that in here. Yeah, page requested. There we go. Boom. That should probably be one of these. Right? Yeah. Save all that. Yep, it looks like it hot reloaded. The page requested foo is not available. Haha, there we go. Back home. And that works, and that works. Okay. The simple ugly default works. Now to make this a little bit better. Okay. Developers. Hey, Jose Programmer 365, how you doing there? Hello, hello. I want to allow people to customize this. So there's... How do I let people customize this? Like, do I add after theme selector in here? Do we add another rich text editor that is page not found content? Darn it. I'm done my coffee. Oh! Do I have in the localization value some placeholder for that page not found path? The page requested is not available. Good question. Page not found with requested page. So the localizer does have that in the string formatting. Let's take a look. I'm going to choose finish just because, well, okay, maybe I won't. Page not found, the page requested, and you can see on this line right here, it does have formatting for each of the languages. So I think we've got it, ice cream stick model. I think that's good. So, translations are probably good. How do they do the image resize? I didn't do the image resize. I basically punted and said you can replace it with an image tag. That's the right approach. Cool. Always good to have a second pair of eyes to confirm that we're taking a good approach here for a default, right? And we're setting appropriately. The status code is not found. So if we want to allow folks to specify their own format for this, could it be a plugin selector for a Blazor component? Could it be a plugin delivered by a Blazor as a Blazor component? Maybe. Maybe. That's an interesting idea. Define an interface for this component that is page not found. Handle page not found. That has these interfaces for page requested in HTTP context. And we let folks build whatever you want up here. Sure. Sure. Dynamically loaded Blazor component that conforms to the interface. Yeah, Mots. Yeah. So I think we're stepping into that really good discussion of features here, where we want to have, right, beginner level feature. Here's the default. Mid-level feature. Hey, I want to provide my own markdown for the plugin. An advanced level feature. Hey, I'd like to go get a plugin that somebody else built that delivers this. Right? I think that's our beginner, intermediate, advanced story playing out on this page. Right? Tell me if I'm wrong, chat room. Can I get some thumbs up that's right? That's the way that we've been thinking about some of these things. Because that's the type of flexibility that I think we can enable with SharpSight. And certainly, yeah, there we go. Okay, good. I see DGen1 and Billy Cool chiming in with thumbs up there. providing that flexibility to dynamically load a component and swap it in. That's hey, thank you for the follow. That dynamic loading and injecting of that plugin is the next bit of advanced capabilities that our plugin manager needs to support. That's going to take a little bit of work. Let me save what I have here for right now, because we've got everything merged and working. That's not Git status. I want to see the list of files and make sure I'm not committing crap. Now showing the page not found with the correct originally requested URL. All right, let me push that up. Let's create an issue, because this also plugs in for the text editor as well, right? Enable swapping in Blazor components. Dynamically. We should be able to supply a Blazor component that replaces the page not found component or the text editor component and load those dynamically from a remote assembly that adheres to specified interfaces as required for those features. I think that makes sense. Is right, Mott's DGen 1, that's kind of what we're thinking of. Let's clean this up. That replaces the, let's make this so it looks like that. Text editor is like that, and load those components dynamically from a remote assembly that adheres to specified interfaces as required for those features. Yeah. We could have a I handle page not found interface that delivers the page not found. Component. For example. I can't type. This is interesting. Yeah, Mott's with the clippies and the thumbs up. All right, awesome. Can this be safely without a site restart? I don't know. Should the file system plugin be part of the repo since it's going to be a system plugin? Since it's going to be a system plugin, I think so. DGen 1, I think I hear what you're hinting at. There's a hint there that we may want a sharp site organization that has multiple repositories here, that where some of these system plugins live, so that they can be built and versioned separately from the rest of the system. I think that's where your mind is going there, DGen 1, right? If I'm thinking through those next steps, because I think for now you're right. It's part of the repo now, but at some point it shouldn't. And I think that point where we break those out is when we build the SharpSite plugin storefront. Does that make sense? Not only page not found, I think any of the HTTP error status page should be able to modify with plugins. Now, it is right now part of... It is right now part of the repository. So if we go to the 05 branch, the branch that we're working in right now, SharpSite plugins file storage. So it's right there as a system plugin. I think system plugins should start with SharpSite.plugins as their namespace. Yeah. Is the idea that you'll have to create a plugin to modify an error page. How you doing there, Red, over there on YouTube? I don't... So, right, I'll go back to just a few minutes ago. I think there's beginner, intermediate, advanced configuration options. I think creating a plugin to modify an error page is an advanced, high level of customization that you would want to do. I think the beginner interaction is we'll take whatever the page not found layout is that's provided with my theme or the default. And I think there's an intermediate interaction where folks can use a designer, not a designer, bad word, can use a rich text editor like this to change the content as they see fit. So yes and no is the answer to your question, right? If I'm talking through that a little bit further. But regular pages marked as hidden that you can configure in a settings area. But other HTTP error status pages. Okay, sure. If we want to be able to customize other status errors, but what other status errors? Like, after page not found, most other status errors should be just a bland, there was an error, we'll get back to you. No access? I don't think you want to communicate that to someone. For security reasons, I don't think you want to return the 300 status codes. What are the no access ones? They're in the they're in the 500s. I forget where they are. The security ones, I don't think you want to directly communicate. Internal server error is one that we absolutely want to hide. Right? I think there's a default configuration where you just don't want to echo any of that information. You don't want to report what the status code is to give away too much data. You want to put that in a log somewhere, which reminds me, if we do go to foo, is it putting that unhandled exception? Is it putting that somewhere? No. That's doing a lot of requests from the users table. I worry about that. I worry about that a lot. I'd like to log that the page not found happened. Status codes to properly display on an error page. Yeah. There's got to be some standard recommendation on that stuff that I'd be happy to follow and kind of include in our documentation. Maintenance page or blocked access page. Okay. okay, for rate limiting, and we haven't even talked about rate limiting yet. But a maintenance page, blocked access page, blocked access page for things in the admin area when you're not logged in, it routes you to the login page right now. You're thinking of, right, like the forbidden status code. Right now, it routes you to the login page. But rate limiting is a feature that we haven't discussed yet. And there's definitely discussion to be had on that. Add rate limiting as an optional feature with configuration. That's 403 if you get a page not found. Well, so, right, this is a 404, and it is properly returning the 404 status code. Where'd you go? What did I do? Do that again. Right, it is properly returning it as a 404 status code, so that pages do return it. I'm okay with. I want to get a logger in here, right? Inject iLogger. What should it be? Page not found? Sure. Uninitialized. Put it on parameter set. On parameter set. Is it an error? Yeah, it's an error. Because it's an error page. Right? Page 0 requested and not available. What? Oh, and that's going to be page requested. Cool. Yeah, fine. Restart the affected project. Which is everything. Configurable pages for things like privacy policy, terms of service. Yes, and yes. And right now, I leave it up to you to create those because you have the pages capability. It shows the generic error pages for anything other than a 404. Yes. Yep. Right? So, this is part of, right, minimum viable and starting to add that customization capability. Way on board. Makes perfect sense. We have to grow into that, right? So if I go to /foo, I get page not found. If I go over here, page foo request, it should be requested. Should that be localized? It might make sense to localize that, right? There we go. Which means we'll also see it on the traces over here. Why didn't we? I mean, there's the errors. right? And it's got 3 components, but it's not showing me. Do I need more than that? I mean, it's in the log over here. It says it's in a trace, too. Getting the error page. But I can't walk up and see it. Can we see... I don't care about Postgres. Get, post, scheme. It's not going to show me. No, that's not showing that. There's the connections. That's weird that it's not showing that. Runtime, no. Get and the scheme and the request duration. Nice. Yeah, part of me feels like the 404 should appear in the metrics here. You'd make a point of not localizing logging because it can cause issues that may or may not properly captured within the logging system. You've never had this happen to you in production? I may take you up on that. You prefer the idea of having regular pages instead of plugins because they would benefit from all the base CMS features like versioning, workflow, scheduling, approvals, whereas a plugin isn't as easy to work with, even if it's more customizable. That's fair. That's fair. Hey, Mars, thank you for the follow. I feel like the error pages should appear as a metric, right? Like, and I mean, it's not appearing. This feels like a miss on the telemetry. Because I'm logging an error. If I'm already in this scope, shouldn't it create the exception? Regular pages. So if we made error pages as pages that you could define and then set them to be an error page. That's interesting. That's an interesting concept. A global application exception handler to log errors. So I don't have that configured right now. I probably should. I'm using the status code pages here. I forget how to configure the global exception handler. That's something I haven't done. I don't even have that on Aspirify. If I let you configure this with Markdown, it's not going to be localized. Right? Not terrible. Where do I save that? it would be saved into some sort of system configuration, which right now we're writing into system configuration. We're writing into application state over here. Which I'm going to start to hate. Interesting problems here. Oh wow, lots of comments happening over there on the Twitter. Need to configure the telemetry to capture those status codes. What is this? Have I considered implementing features in the CMS that make it easy for users to migrate from other systems? Yes, that's absolutely something that folks have suggested. It's a little bit further down the path at this point, but yes. And I have an issue, right? For migrate from there's this that we need to get a little bit further into. Migration assistant. So yeah, there's definitely ideas for that. It's a little bit further down. Yeah. Let me go to that comment. Am I missing a configuration bit here? Modify the app so they emit open telemetry data. It is already. Right there. These are added in service defaults. These are added in service defaults. I show you. Add open telemetry logging, include formatted messages, include scopes. Add open telemetry, add. So this adds meter for ASP.NET Core hosting. I believe that's in that one. Yeah. Configure meters, ASP.NET Core hosting. With tracing at ASP.NET Core instrumentation. Yep. HTTP client instrumentation. Yep. The exporter. So there is a add OpenTelemetry exporters here that looks for that configuration, and we can set up and add more. So, yep. But it feels like a miss that it's not emitting the HTTP status codes. It's not, right? I didn't see it in here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't find status. It's only in the header of his blog. Configure ASP.NET Core telemetry. Open telemetry. To report HTTP status codes. No, it's not there. That feels like a huge miss. Right? Like, I want to see. No. And wow, that's old. It sure looks like it's emitting it. You really enjoying Aspire? Local development has become much easier. Yeah, it is. It is. Like, cool. I want to look at the database stuff. There's my exceptions. Gosh, it'd be nice if those were labeled. No. That's not even popping up. There it is. There's the status code. And yeah, I feel like there's a trace metrics that we're missing there. And the way that this is reported on when it goes and gets the error, first off, oh my gosh, why are we hitting the database to query and load that data so much? Okay, we've gone way far down.
Squirrel. Squirrel. Squirrel.
Yeah. I'm going to create an issue first off. Investigate the frequent requests to the database to load user information. ASP.NET appears to be querying the user record in the database very frequently. Can we minimize this interaction? I don't know if it's a bug, but maybe... Yeah, it's a question. Right, question. Let's see if anybody can shed some light on that. Hey there, MSD2000. What am I coding? Share some info about the CMS. So this is called SharpSite, and it's intended to be inspired by WordPress. So we've been building various capabilities into this, and we're using the .NET Aspire tools and framework to help us build and manage the establishment of a database. We've even got the PG admin tools out here that we can use by default. Right, this just ships with our developer configuration, so we can peek right in to our database tables here and see exactly what's going on. And for example, here's our pages that we've created that run inside of this. And right now, it's very simple. We just have another page with a slug here and some context that's just been written into this. Interesting enough. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the rest of the content is there. Right, so we're building this out slowly, and we're learning, importantly, we're learning more about Blazor and .NET Aspire and localization capabilities as we go. So we've done a rich amount of localization and work to be able to localize content, so I can translate to like Bulgarian. Boom, immediately. Right? Swahili. There it is, Swahili. And I can go back to English again, and everything works nicely. So, we're slowly building this. One of the next things that we need to build, now that we've got configuration for max upload size and language settings, we've got to revisit the default Bootstrap layout that this ships with, and dial in something that looks nicer, something that's going to be prototypically SharpSite, so that it has a cleaner look and feel. Do that little bit of design and polish on this, and then start enabling themes that folks can upload and really take control of how the site looks and feels. So we've also got steps coming up in the next milestone to get this packaged as a Docker container, so it can just run anywhere. We've got elements here so that you can upload plugins, right? We have a icon that one of our community members is working on. We're gonna sneak in here so that it looks nice. And we'll see how that goes. Haynes on YouTube asks, do I have an experience with Golang on Windows? I've read some of the documentation. I've tinkered a little bit. I would not say that I have experience with Golang on Windows. I barely have stepped into the language. Hey, thank you for the follow, MSD. Appreciate it. Blazor would be great if they figured out hot reload. Well, you've seen hot reload has been working for us here in the application, right? Oh, go ahead. Do the hat command. Here it comes. There you go. How am I going to save the page content? Direct HTML or JSON? So the page content is Markdown, and that Markdown is pushed into the database. So here's my PG admin, right? This is another page, and it's saving this Markdown directly right there. So, right, I'm just loading that content and painting it on the screen. By default, right now, I'm using Postgres as my database. We're going to turn this into a plugin so that you'll be able to choose a database provider. Postgres, MySQL, MongoDB, MariaDB, Microsoft SQL, Oracle, and swap that in and be able to choose how you'd like that stored in the future. So I mentioned Bulgarian. You're from Bulgaria. Oh my goodness. Hello. Yes. So there are Bulgarian translations in here that you can activate. And some of this needs to be cleaned up and formatted a little bit nicer, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So there you go. So that hat command, that ice cream stick model ran, it took a picture, it sent that to OpenAI, did the analysis of the image, and it reported back that text. That was all generated by AI. No training needed there. Isn't it insecure to directly store the HTML content of the page? What do you think? Well, admins, editors are the ones who are building and saving this content. So, like, you're building it. You're maintaining this content when you install and run the CMS. Who you give access to the database to is up to you. So, is the hat detection open? Yes, it's in the Fritz Stream Tools repository. I don't have it open over here. C# Fritz, Fritz.streamtools, which is where my chatbot lives that is running there in chat. And yeah, there's some big updates coming to this. And if you look in the chatbot project here, take a look in the commands. It is the predict hat command. Is that !hat command. And you can see further down here, here is the prompt that it runs to analyze the hat and report that. That comes out of, this comes out of Azure OpenAI. So there are certain things that you'd want to disable when saving that content, such as script tags, but that's why we're using Markdown. That's right. So, right, by default, when you write this content, it doesn't inject script tags. You need to be an admin. Admin? I think you need to be an admin to build pages, and you need to be a user, a registered user, to be able to create posts. But right, if we did that, does that save? It saves. It doesn't run. Article, image, there's the script. Why didn't that run? There it is. So you could write script in there. You could. And that might be appropriate if you're embedding a gist, a GitHub gist. You would want script to be embedded. I believe that is a feature that that WordPress allows. I think to a little bit of Motz's comment there, it might make sense to put a warning, right? To warn, hey, you're saving a page that has script in here. Are you sure? To confirm that. You're developing a little CMS for learning purposes? Yeah, okay. I think that warning is, right, something within scope to consider, right? Add a warning to the page and post edit pages when script content detected. We should warn the user when they're saving content that has script tags embedded in it. I think that's reasonable. I'll allow that. We do try and keep things safe for work. That wasn't too far out of bounds, so I'm going to let that one go through. Could Sharp site be multi-site, multi-tenant? A main website and a separate site for things like API docs or a help center. I think there's some architecture things there that you're talking about that could be done. Let's start with the simple scenario right now. I think that's a little bit further down the line. Not a problem, MSD. Just making sure that I clarify when I accept some things like that. WordPress allows to directly inject script code, and this has actually saved you a couple times. You still think it's kind of insecure? Oh yeah, it can be insecure. It can be insecure, and that's right. That's why, if you look at like edit post over here, when it saves, this is actually happening on a WebSocket that's authenticated, right? So because we're on that authenticated WebSocket, you have to be logged in to get here. So I think we're okay. And if you put something in your website that damages it, that's your problem. Commenting posts should not allow any HTML formatting. We haven't actually, ice cream stick model, we haven't even started a comment model. That's right. We don't have a comment subsystem yet. Posts should optionally be allowed to enable commenting. New line. Comments should not allow HTML tags to be uploaded, comma, and script tags are strictly forbidden. Yeah. Do we build our own comment system, or do we just add on something like Discourse? Discourse? Discourse. I forget the name of the shared one that's out there. Good questions. Don't know. Do we need separate internal, external visibility on comments? Let's put it out there, and when we get to building this subsystem, figure that out. Allow for anonymous, control anonymity. That's a good one. Administrators for the site should be able to control whether comments are allowed to be posted anonymously, or if the user is required to authenticate with some provider. I think that's fine. Discuss, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, Codebase Alpha. There we go. Like, absolutely. Good questions. I missed on building this feature set. We'll get there. We'll get there. I should finish adding the... Why is everyone on Twitch a game dev? Because Twitch is primarily a gaming platform. Oh, ads just kicked in. Twitch is primarily a gaming platform, and folks tune in looking for games. I'm also broadcasting on YouTube so that other folks can pick up and check out stuff that's going on. So, okay. Hey there, HB Bob. Hey, HB Bob. There's some friends signing into BattleNet. I should wrap up and end because I need to finish setting some things up for Tuesday. Let me save where I am right now. Wrap up. Leave site changes may not be saved. Huh? Yeah, that's fine. Was there any changes there that I didn't? What do we got? Oh, the logger. Added logger. Added a log message for page not found. That's fine. So I still need to allow the customization for this, and then I am happy to do the and then allow figure out a way to allow plugins to go in here. I like the idea of you create a page that that can be linked to as the status page. There's definitely ideas there to go through and investigate. I think it's very interesting about that advanced level configuration and defining pages that we can swap in place of error pages. Was I originally a game dev? No. I've never built games. No. I've always been a website or native application developer, typically for Windows. This is good. We made some good progress. We figured out some other items that we want to open and take a look at here. DGen1 with a question: could minimal API endpoint also resize the image? Well, if it is an image, to allow that resizing is definitely something. File system plugin needs to handle matching file names. If a user uploads a secondary file that has the same name as a file that's already present on the platform, comma, it should be stored with a different file name on disk and return an appropriate unique file name to the editor so that it can be referenced uniquely and appropriately for the content. So I'm going to mark this as a bug because this is something that does need to be addressed. But I'm not going to schedule it, but I'm going to leave this out here. There's other things like this that we need to walk through and learn and figure out. But for now, I do need to go. I need to do some more preparations for getting ready for next week's .NET Conf wrap-up stream that we're going to do live here on the channel. It's going to be a phenomenal stream on Tuesday next week, okay? So check it out. Tuesday next week, when you tune in, we're going to be going for a good 6 hours, 7 hours, because we're going to have some of our friends join us who spoke as part of .NET Conf and are going to talk to us about the new features, the new capabilities that are in .NET that have been extended, added, and that we want to learn about and start using inside of our projects. That's coming up on Tuesday. If you tune in on that day, we're going to have a sign-up form. We've got some folks, some sponsors that are giving away prizes. It's going to be a fantastic stream, all right? And, of course, we're going to have our friend Richard Campbell join us as part of that. And we're going to talk through all the cool new features in .NET with him, answer your questions, because you've seen how I host my live streams here. It's an open Q&A. You're allowed to talk and ask questions about all kinds of things, and our guests will be doing just that, talking about .NET MAUI, the new version of C#, Blazor. Going to be talking about .NET Aspire, talking about AI features. It's going to be a great, great time. All right. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets to join us. There, like I said, there's going to be a sign-up form so that you can be a part of potentially winning some pretty cool prizes that our sponsors are going to be giving away. But for now, because I need to go and prep and do some research and get ready for that, if you're on Twitch, I'm going to set up a raid. If you're watching on YouTube, there's links to the code that we were working on just below, and there's more content that you can watch, either right over here or just below, depending on which application you're watching YouTube on. Taking a look around the horn here, let me find somebody to get you connected to. Oh my gosh. Our friends Patch and Switch have started their weekly stream. Let me get you rated over to them. They talk about all kinds of things that operations folks, that tech folks who are working in an organization need to know and manage. And they also talk about cool tech that they have in their homes and they use to keep things running smoothly out there. All right? Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure writing code with you here today. Get ready to say hi to my friends Patch and Switch, and I will see you next time. All right? Until then, I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.